Hey everyone, welcome in. Welcome to our latest edition of Enterprise DNA Summits, and this one's the Reporting and Visualization Summit. So I know there's plenty on now. We are expecting quite a few to this particular session, so we'll just wait another minute or so. But definitely want to welcome you all in from I know all around the world. I'd like to also welcome my team who is on the call as well, and who have done a tremendous job setting up the event and getting everything ready for the event. These events take a lot of work to put together, a lot of coordination, a lot of logistics. So big thank you to my team, and big thank you to you all for being a part of it. There's going to be a great event, so many great sessions. So really looking forward to not only jumping into mine, but jumping into everyone else's. And hearing what a lot of some of the sort of global experts on this particular topic have to say, and plenty to learn throughout each day of our event. So if you could all just to get things going, why don't you all just type into the chat where you're calling in from today? I'm really keen to know. Usually we get a very global audience to these. Most of you know that I'm based in New Zealand, but the rest of the team is based basically everywhere. We've got the States, Europe, Asia. So I am sure that is also reflective in the group who are watching today as well. So cool. Okay, yeah, Nigeria, Greece, Atlanta, Canada. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I do, in this particular session, I do want to spend a bit of time just actually going over quite a few things about this. I want to dive into my topics. I want to talk about some advanced visualization frameworks. Absolutely want to get into that. But I also want to cover a bit about the summit and do a bit of an intro first, because maybe some of you don't really know it. Maybe you're new to Enterprise DNA. And I want to just give you a little bit of background, but also just walk you through how this summit is actually going to work. I also want to just thank all of our members who are here and our Centre of Excellence customers. So really thank you, big thank you for all your support, and really enjoy partnering on your education journey around Power BI and increasingly the Power Platform, Microsoft Power Platform. Okay, so let's kick into it. Bit of an intro. So for those who don't know me too well, my name's Sam McKay, and I'm the founder of Enterprise DNA. We've been around for about 6 years now. We really started exactly when Power BI re-emerged in its current form. It was historically a range of Excel tools, and they've culminated into this fantastic piece of technology called Power BI, the Power BI suite, really. And we've really been on that wave since day one, and have really evolved over time, just catering as much as we can towards our customers and our partners' needs. And so, over time, we've built this very comprehensive education platform, trying to cover every aspect of Power BI development you can think of. I think we've done that pretty well, and we're slowly now evolving into complementary technologies around Power BI, like things like Power Apps, Power Automate, Python, R, etc., Excel even. But still, Power BI is our absolute core. We strongly believe that Power BI is this core technology that can really drive your data culture, can really make a huge difference around what you can do with data across data management, data collection, data visualization, analysis, so on, data distribution, all those great things. Power BI is an incredible tool to do that. So we are real true believers in that. And that is sort of our mission from day to day, is to really empower as many users anywhere who are using Power BI and other tools around it to really create valuable work, to really make a difference within your organization. Now, in terms of our summit, so this is by far it's getting up to be our biggest summit. I would say it probably is already. We had a really great event in February that had close to 5,000, and I think we're going to be over 5,000 this time around in terms of those who registered for the event. But this one's specifically on reporting and data visualization. And we selected this particular topic because we knew that there was a lot of help required with ideas and techniques around reporting and data visualization. With Power BI, we have this this amazing blank canvas, right? Which is fantastic in some respects, but also is can hold quality reporting back a little bit as well, because it means that you've got to bring a lot of creativity in a lot of cases to create a high quality output. And so what we're trying to do and what we want to do during this summit is really try and give you better ideas, many ideas and frameworks and techniques that you can replicate yourself to develop better looking reports and better looking designs and more engaging reports that your consumers want to come back to day after day to really learn and not learn, but really make actionable decisions from. Okay, so we've got an awesome lineup, like one of the, I don't think you'll find a better lineup anywhere in terms of experts, but also just the content that some of our experts are going into. So really want you to enjoy it and dive into all of these sessions in your own time, either live or, if you can't make them live, I know they're all throughout the day trying to cover all different time zones. So replays are made available during the summit as well if you want to watch them. Okay, so I think that's that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch over and just cover a few other things, okay? And then I'm going to jump into my content straight after that. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. I just want to, first of all, thank all of our sponsors. So these are all of, there's a whole range of companies that we are partnered with and provide some, great technology and great services and features around Power BI. So if you are looking to explore further things that can empower your Power BI deployment, please have a look at some of our sponsors. Some of them are actually presenting at this particular event. Now, we have some awesome prizes, and I also want to just highlight that for this, during this, like my session right now, and we're going to do this in quite a few of the sessions, is we're actually going to give away one free access to a free course. So if you already have membership, if you already have a COE license, you get access to absolutely everything on our platform. But if you don't, to really try and get everyone really engaged in any particular session, I want to have a bit of an incentive there. And so what we're going to do is offer one free course, any course of your selection from our platform, to those who are the most engaged during the session. Okay, so I'm going to give away 3 at the end of my session. And we might do this selectively in other sessions as well. But at the end of this one, I'm going to say, I'm going to give whoever's the most engaged, I'm going to give access to 3, your pick, or one course on our platform. So if you want to take the Mastering DAX course, if you want to take the Power Query course, if you want to take some of our visualization one of our visualization courses, you can if you're one of the most engaged, okay, or selected as one of the most engaged. Now, I do also want to mention that we have some awesome prizes. Like we want to make the prizes one of the statement pieces of our events, and we've worked hard to collect a huge amount of prizes and swag packs and giveaways that we're going to give away at the end of this particular event. Okay. Now, the only requirement is that you have to have an upgraded membership. So you either have to have a COE license through your company, or you have to have an individual membership, and you're eligible to go in to win. Okay, so if you aren't, definitely have a think about doing that throughout the event, and then you'll have an opportunity to get any one of these particular prizes, which we will be doing at random at the end of the event for all of those who are who have a license with us. Yeah, so we'll be selecting that towards the end. Okay, so a couple other things. I like to make these as collaborative as possible. I do want to definitely, for about sort of 25 minutes to half an hour, really dive into these frameworks that I'm talking about. But if you have any questions, I'm watching the chat on the side. I've also got my team watching the chat who can help you. But we will definitely have some Q&A at the end. Also for recordings and resources. So these are going to be made available to everyone until the end of the summit. Okay, so these will all be available until the very last session of the summit. Once the summit ends, they will only be available for our members and for those who have access to our platform. Okay, and that's exactly the same with the resource files. So there's a lot of resource files that go alongside most people's sessions during the summit. So definitely watch out for those. and access those whilst you can, but definitely don't forget that if you want to continue to access going forward, it just requires an upgrade. Now, one of the my last sort of item I just want to mention is our challenge. Okay, so Federico's on the call at the moment, I think, and he's our head of challenges. And we have a challenge that's already started. That's why this is all zero. But we have we're doing a 1 week challenge that also will have some prizes, and anyone can get involved in this. And basically, it's a redesign of a historic challenge we've done in the past. So the idea is that we want to make we want to have some sort of like project-based learning challenge, like project-based learning part of the summit, and this is it. And so get as collaborative as you want to, learn off others, learn off the speakers, and try and replicate that in some of your reports. I'm very confident that even after my session today, you're going to have a lot of good ideas about how you can go in and test and practice some of the visualization ideas that we talk about. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much over the sessions because they're on the registration link, but there's tons, right? There's absolutely tons. I mean, we have almost 8 every single day. It's an amazing lineup, like seriously amazing lineup, full of just global experts on visualization topics. You know, there will be nothing left uncovered, I would say, around creating quality visualizations. And this is something that we really want you to take out of this event, is to come out of it being really empowered to create compelling visualizations, compelling designs in your reports. Okay, I think that is all I want to cover in terms of the event. Please feel free to send us feedback, get involved in discussions throughout the summit. We want it to be as collaborative as possible. It is very important to us that this is one of the best learning experiences that you have around Power BI. And so the more engaged you are, the more we can assist you throughout the event in various different ways. We want to do that. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my session now, unless there's any pressing questions. But my session here is, I'll just zoom in here, is on advanced visualization frameworks for Power BI. Okay, so I'm just going to click into some notes here. Now, you might be wondering what experience I am in here. Okay, this is actually the Analyst Hub. So this is our tool that we've built internally, which has a whole lot of ways to enhance your productivity and planning around Power BI. Now, what I've done is I've just decided to write my notes in here in our notepad functionality. And this is where I put a lot of my just ideas and thoughts around Power BI, just so it's all centrally in one place. And you'll see that I've got my own sort of documents area. And so I can very quickly come in and find it in here. Okay, so this actually, by the way, Analyst Hub is part of membership. So you get access to all of these tools with your membership and or COE license. And I've got a few other apps that I want to show you within here as we go. But these are the key takeaways for you, okay, on a new, like I would say this is an evolved, for me personally, and for Enterprise DNA, because we all collaborate over these particular ideas and techniques that we develop. This is an evolved framework that we believe is the best way to build visualizations, to build reports inside of Power BI. Okay. Now, my idea here is I want to first go over all of these items. Okay. And then I want to show you some reports that have a lot of these items in them. Okay. And I'm actually going to use even just I'm just going to use some examples from our last challenge, our challenge 19. So with our challenges that we hold at Enterprise DNA, and that's run by Federico, who's our head of challenges. We've seen so many reports. We've seen a huge distribution of report quality over years now, based on all the challenges that we've done, and we've learned a lot. We've learned a ton through watching what other people are developing and the good things and the not so good things that are put into reports. And so over time, we've been able to evolve into this framework around what we believe is the best way to build reports and produces the highest quality of reports within the Power BI experience. Okay, so I want to go through these, and then I want to go and show you how some of these have been implemented in a really good way inside of Power BI. And then I want to take reports that I think could be improved, and I want to show you how I could place this framework, some of these items, and some from this list into these reports to very quickly make them better. Okay, that's my idea. I do have a session later on. I think that's the very last session of the summit, which is about automation techniques. I might actually cover a few of them here, but I'm gonna expand them much more in my final session where I say, okay, well, how do we automate a lot more of our development? And the automation is just occurring around this framework. That's really what we've what I've done in terms of trying to not only create a more high quality reporting consumer experience, but also speed it up. Like, how do we get there fast? Okay. But today is about the framework, and we'll touch upon a few things of how to get there. But my later session is going to be, okay, how do we automate some of these things? How do we get these things really, really fast? Okay. So let's just really dive into these. Okay. So number one, all reports should have a grid format. Okay. I'll cover that in a second, along with all of these. Number two, colors. Colors are just so crucial. Getting a consistent color theme, but also not overusing colors. Okay. Navigation. Building a solid navigation experience within your reports. Okay. I think that we've evolved from just clicking through pages at the bottom of a Power BI report. We always want to try and build a navigation experience inside of our reports. This can be done a few different ways, but it's something that we want to aim for. If we can limit the page, just randomly clicking through pages, that's a big positive in my view. Okay. Number four is labeling. Just simple and effective labeling. When someone looks at your report, you want them to understand what they're looking at within 10 to 15 seconds. 15 seconds might even be too long, but you want, through quality and simple labeling, you want someone to really understand the story that you are trying to tell very quickly. Next one on my list is selecting the correct visuals. So one thing that can detract very quickly from your reports is if you select the wrong visual, and it is very difficult to comprehend what that visual is actually showing you. Okay, and I'll show you a few examples in a second. But you just want to keep your visualizations very simple and easy to comprehend, and that can be done very easily. But it also can, on the flip side, be made difficult very, very, very quickly as well. So that's something that is simple to think about and actually simple to do, but easy to stuff up. So that's another good one there. Okay, so two more. So condense info. Okay, so you do not need to have 10 different report pages that someone needs to click through. Okay, you can pretty much always get away with having far less pages these days, and that comes and to do that, you just need to understand how to use and get creative with some of the fantastic features inside the Power BI suite. So I've got down here, I've got tooltips, bookmarks, selections. Okay, by combining a lot of these, you can really condense your reports. Okay, my last one is using templates. Okay, so not creating everything from scratch. Okay, looking out there in the community on our website, we've got challenges, we've got showcases, but there's a lot out there in the community that you can leverage off and use and reuse within your own reports. Okay, it's crazy how much resources out there that you could literally just copy and paste. into your reports, and it's going to really enhance your it's going to enhance your visualization, but it is also going to speed it up, obviously, because you're not having to be creative from nothing. You can really really leverage off what other high quality developers have done in the past. Okay, so this is it. I haven't written a book on this framework. I'm always someone who likes to keep things very, very simple. Okay, as simple as I possibly can, as simple and effective. It's sort of something that I always have in the back of my mind, right? So grid format, colors, navigation, labeling, select correct visuals, condense info, and use templates. These are my 7 key pieces of my advanced visualization framework. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? Is there any, does everyone resonate with these ideas? I'm interested to know in the chat. And also, is there anything that you feel that I potentially am missing here? Is there anything that you are doing that could be added to this? I personally feel like this covers, each different point here can be quite broad in its definition. Like there's quite a few things that could sit underneath it, but these are, if you approach your visualization with this framework, with these ideas, I've pretty much no doubt that you're going to improve what you're producing. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to zoom out, and then I'm going to show you a few examples here. Okay. Now, grid format. Okay, let's dive into what this can do to your report and how quickly it can do it. Okay, I'm just drag this off to the side. Give me a second. Okay, so this may look similar to some of you. This actually covers a couple of the points, but the main thing I want to highlight here, and what I'll do is I just realized that I'll change this color just slightly so we can see it a bit better. No, I don't like that too much. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. But you see here, this is a grid format. Okay, this is the grid, and this is literally just one grid. And by the way, this is actually this is a bit of a shout out to one of our sponsors and our partners, Numero. So Numero have created this design system, and it's sort of like they've got a whole range of templates you can use, but you can customize those templates in many different ways. And what I did for this particular challenge submission was I use their grid format. Okay, and their grid format just enables you to locate items in certain areas in a report, but it always breaks down into some sort of grid. How you utilize the grid is totally up to you. You can have any variation of grid patterns, but it's just getting things into a grid, which is the most crucial. And so you'll see here that I've got I've got a navigation down the side, which is sort of starting off in a grid. I've got a few key metrics and a slicer in my grid here. I've got a grid here. I've got a grid here, so on and so forth. Okay. You would be so surprised at how much better your visualization looks than just having things randomly placed on a page with no structure to it, right? And what thinking in grids actually does is it just enables you to place things in a way where the eye can focus on a particular area in the report and then move to the next and then move to the next. It just improves the way that your overall setup, the setup of your visualizations are in your report, but also sort of the storytelling that you can do throughout your report as well. Okay, so hopefully some of you agree. It's actually not that complicated, but it is just a really simple and effective way to always know that you're going to have a symmetrical and good a symmetrical look in your reports, but also a good sort of consumer experience. Okay, so this is just one example, but I'll just quickly jump to a couple of other examples. Okay, so this one here is by, I think this was by Federico, and once again you see here it's a totally different look, but there's grids in it, right? There's a grid pattern. So there's a grid around here, there's a grid here, there's a grid here, and there's like a grid within a grid, right? And so everything is just far more easy on the eye, far more symmetrical. And if these things weren't aligned, if they were just out of alignment a little bit, it just takes away from your report, right? Just takes away from it. And this is just a simple, and even just making sure that you're left aligning everything. In this particular case, Federico's used borders, right? But they're all exactly in line. They're all exactly in line. Even here, like this particular header, when I click on this, it's in line with this, and that's the grid. That's the grid pattern, right? Same with this feature. This slicer here is in line with this, mostly in line here. I think is a small little adjustment due to the number of selections available. But hopefully you agree with me that the grids just make it stand out that much more. Look, same thing here, right? Even though this is a title and this is a visualization, they're still in alignment. They're still in a grid. Okay, I'll show you one more on this particular topic. So this was actually, this particular report here was the winner of our Challenge 19. Okay, so big shout out to Abu, I think it was. Yep. But again, let's just have a look. Simple grid pattern, right? Very symmetrical and very simple. And the other thing about this, right, is having it in grids and thinking like this in grids. There's a lot of other really fantastic things embedded into this, which we'll go over shortly. But it's actually quite easy to replicate these, right? So you can literally create one. So you create something down here like this, right? And all you're doing is in this particular example, you're literally just copying one to the next, to the next, to the next, and then you're creating your grid pattern based just from really quick copying. And that I'm a really big fan of that, right? Just copy and paste. It's almost your best friend inside of Power BI. Copy and paste from other reports. Copy and paste from your own reports to get it into the format that you want. Okay, so that's enough on grid formats. Okay, now as a contrast, as a quick contrast. Okay, I want to show you one report here. Okay, now I don't want to show I'm not showing reports that require improvement to to not encourage those everyone from participating, but I want to use them as examples of how you can one as a contrast, but also how you can quickly improve. Okay, how you can quickly improve what you are doing with your particular reports and visualizations. So obviously, this particular participant in our challenge is just learning Power BI, and that's fine. But very quickly, you can see how just having things randomly laid out in your report doesn't do too much for the experience for the consumer, right? Maybe this was thrown together very, very quickly, but just nothing is in alignment. There's no sort of rhyme or reason as to why certain visualizations are put where they are. So very, very simply, this could be transformed and made a little bit better, right? This one here. Okay, so this is another submission. It does actually have some good information. I'm not denying that, right? But and I can also see the grid format has been attempted, right? But when I look up here, this is this where the navigation experience is and where this is randomly positioned. It detracts from the overall experience in the report, doesn't it? Okay. There's some color things that I want to touch on here as well. But even here, there's the makings of a grid format, but there also is things that could be like, for example, I would in this here, I would actually drag that down there and add a few things like labels, maybe a title, maybe even some cards that really made the key information stand out as well. Okay, so that's just a couple of examples. Okay, I'm going to come back to some of these in a second, and we're going to go through a few ideas around how to quickly improve. There's a couple of things I would change here as well. But I think that's enough on the grid. Okay, so hopefully I've made that relatively clear in terms of like how to improve. Okay, colors is my next one. Okay, so we've done grid, We've done grids, and now we're moving into colors. Okay, I just want to show you how to quickly do this. You'll see in a lot of quality reports, not only the ones that I'm showcasing here, okay, colors, your color theme always needs to be aligned, okay, but you always want to use as simple a colors as possible, like as little variation in colors as possible. So you see here that this is just a blue theme. Let's go and have a look at my theme. Let's go and have a look at my theme and have a look at what my actual theme is to what I've actually used in my report. Okay. So you see here that I've got quite a lot of variation in my theme, but the reality is you just do not need to use too many colors. Like I think I've used maybe 3 or 4 shades of color, and that is it. And I've decided to stick with blue. And you can do that, you know, literally I've just stuck with this one line down here. Okay. And that's it. You know, you just do not need to overcomplicate colors. That's really what it comes down to. Okay. And if I have a look at, let's have a look at Federico's one, you'll see here again, just very simple use of colors. If you come and have a look at the color palette here, again, a lot of variation, right? A lot of variation in the color palette. But to keep things looking more consistent, there's no overuse of colors. Like if you decided, as an example, if we decided to come in here and use a bit more variation, to me, it's not as consumable as it was before, right? It just doesn't look as tidy when you know, compared to if you're, you know, just sticking to sort of one shade of colors. Okay, this is pretty consistent. Like I would say, this is consistent with, you know, the vast majority of really high quality submissions is the consistent use of colors. So you see here that this is sort of like would you call this like an aqua or a sort of a bluey greeny color, right? Again, the colors, you know, they're all relatively the same. There's no huge variation. So when you compare this to, say, this one here, right? Okay. So this report is actually fantastic in terms of information, but just too many colors. Just need to be much more careful around how you're using colors to represent your high quality insights. There's a few other things that we can improve here as well, but to me, colors is the big one, right? Like these visualizations here, they're really unhelpful. They are you know, they don't really show you any insight that can be actionable, and there's just, you know, way too much variation in colors, and you just never want to show things like this. That never makes for a quality experience. Okay, so again, this is not to I'm not sort of drilling down into these to tell anyone that they're doing a bad job. It's all just learning. Okay, I want everyone to learn from what we consider really high quality output versus things that can be improved. Okay, and we all can, like, honestly, we can all improve. I've improved my own visualization technique a lot since we started as well. Okay, so what we've just to highlight a few things that you can do to improve your colors very quickly was one of the great things you can do now, if you didn't realize this, is that you can actually download. Like if you find a good showcase, if you find a good report, you can actually download, you can save that theme. So if you like this theme, right? If you like the theme that I've used in this report, you can come in here, you can go view, and you can customize the theme. Oh, not customize it. You can save the current theme, right? You can save it. You can save it as a JSON file, and then you can re-upload that into your own report. And maybe we'll do that. We'll do that shortly. Hold on, I've just got someone in the chat. Block user. I've just got to block someone on the chat, if that's all right. Okay, sorry, just blocked someone. Okay. Also, I got a really good question using darker backgrounds, right? Using darker backgrounds. Yes, you can use darker backgrounds, but you can also use lighter backgrounds, and that it's totally dependent. I love darker backgrounds and having white lettering. Many of you have been around for a while and have seen me demonstrate a lot you'll know that that is my go-to. But you can also do lighter themes very successfully as well. Okay, it just is it is just about using colors in an effective way. Okay, so what I was going to show you was some ways that you can use. Just give me a second. You can use the Analyst Hub to help with your color themes. Okay, so you can download other people's color themes, and that's very, very helpful. But we also have some awesome ways to generate themes and to generate colors inside of the Analyst Hub. Okay, so this is where we have all of our productivity apps. Okay, so we have a way for you to quickly get a color theme, and the one I love using a lot is this color fan, because it actually gives me a whole lot of variations of the same color. So you know how I in my example I had like these blue variations, and so what it does is you can click through here and get a lot of variations of the same color. You can also change the amount of colors you get. And so what I like to do is everything's set up in here is for speed. So I can find a theme that I like. Okay, so here's a gray one, very similar to Federico's. I can come in and I can copy these if I want into my customized current theme here. And then very quickly I get an entire palette around the same colors. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. Another amazing, like really awesome tool we've developed and are continuing to develop is our theme generator. Okay, and so this here is, I think, it probably is one of the best, or if not the best, way to comprehensively build your entire theme in your Power BI reports. Okay, not only can you basically the idea behind this is we wanted to be able to change the theme, but not just of colors. We wanted to be able to manipulate like literally everything inside of your Power BI report. So everything down to the text, the way, like if you wanted to show a legend or not, if you wanted to show an axis or not, if you wanted to customize what a table looked like. We enable this within this new theme generator. Now we've been making like very small updates and edits to it in time. So we to be honest haven't marketed it as well as we should. But basically, the idea to think about this is that, how can you limit the amount of clicks that you have to do inside of Power BI? Well, build a comprehensive theme that has absolutely everything set up how you want it to be set up. And then, when you go and change the theme inside your Power BI report, everything, when you create a visual, when you create a title, when you create a text box, a card, everything will be set up exactly how you want it to be. Okay, down to even the font size. You can manipulate anything. Okay, and so the productivity gains that you can achieve just by using that theme generator that we created are off the charts, absolutely off the charts. Okay, but I wanted to show this a little bit more in my final session around automation. Okay, so I will do so back then, but during that session. But this is just a heads up. Okay, right. Let's go back. Let's go back in here. Okay, navigation. Okay, so one of the big things that I'm really big on now is that we want to, when someone is experiencing this report, the report inside of the Power BI experience, we want them to navigate within the page itself. Okay. So I'm in Power BI desktop here, but I want you to notice one thing down the bottom is that every single page is actually hidden. You see here, it's hidden, and there's only one page which is showing, the home page. Okay, so even though we can see the pages down here in the Power BI experience, when you upload this to online, no one can see these pages. The only way that they can click through into different pages is to click on buttons or to click on navigation experiences inside of the report. And we think now, we truly believe that every report should have this. You want to direct the user through your story rather than them randomly selecting pages and not getting the story in the sequential way that you want them to view it. Okay, so there is any number of ways that you can create this navigation experience. I'm not definitively saying do exactly this. I'm not saying I'm not exactly saying have a navigation bar on the left-hand side. I'm not saying have these buttons to click through to the next page. I'm just saying that I think that this is the way that I think you should try and set things up. Okay. Now there's plenty of different ways that you can align buttons, or you can place your navigation in your report. We believe that you should do it though. You should introduce it into your development workflow. Okay. Now, so this is just one example. Let's have a look up here. Okay. So again, this is quite similar. You can go to the next page. You can go back pages. All of these are actually very easy to set up. It's remarkably easy to set up, right? Here we have a home navigation page is always a nice idea as well. But you see here that every single report page is hidden, and we're just literally clicking buttons. We're in a web-based application now when we are doing this. Okay, there is a ton of these examples on the Enterprise DNA Showcase. Okay, so if you come to the Enterprise DNA homepage and you go Showcase, you will see by clicking through a lot of these reports here that a similar sort of experience. All the quality reports have a similar navigation experience. Okay, and there's just many different ways. Like this one I'll show you. This is one that I always really like to show because I know it well because this was one of mine. But let's have a look in here. Okay. Okay, so this is, let's say you might have seen this before. I demonstrate it quite a lot, but this simply shows you variations and ways that you can build navigation experiences and make your reports look like an application. So you see here that I have a left-hand side. I've got some images that sort of tell me where I'm located in my report when I click through. But also check out this within this section. These are like sections, but within these sections, I'm sort of clicking through different a navigation, like a menu bar up the top, kind of like a website, right? Now, these are different pages. These are different pages in Power BI Desktop, but it feels like one experience, doesn't it? It feels like one experience, one web-based experience in the Power BI report. Okay, and that's what you want to aim for. This is how to really elevate what you're doing inside of Power BI, is to build this in. Okay. Right. Now you can, by the way, just to highlight how you can do this quite quickly, is if I just quickly jump back here. There isn't actually too much navigation built into this one as well, but there is nothing stopping you from finding a nice navigation, downloading that Power BI X file and copying it. You can literally copy anything from one report to another. Okay, so I can highlight this down the side here. I can group it, and then if I wanted to, I can copy and paste this into another Power BI report, and then very quickly get that same look, that same navigation experience. You then would need to link things up, obviously build actions into icons, into text boxes, etc. But all very quick and easy to do now inside of Power BI. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, labeling. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory, but again is forgotten quite often. Just making sure that you are very clearly labeling what someone is looking at. Okay, so this is a perfect example of great labeling. There is labeling, very good title on the page. There's also some details about what you're looking at in the page. Every visualization has a very good, easy way to see like exactly what you're looking at. It's got a date, title, so on and so forth. So some of you might think, okay, that's really, really simple, really self-explanatory. But to be honest, it's forgotten quite often. Okay, so let's have a look at some other examples. Okay, so we'll go to this one here. Okay, so there's a lot of, to be honest, there's a lot of text here, right? There's a lot of text, which is great. But to improve these text boxes, to improve what someone is looking at, it would be great to have better labeling, more clear and larger font in a lot of cases on the actual visualizations itself. One of my things that I really try and avoid at all costs is, you'll see here in this title here is that the title name is not in a proper text format. Like, you want these to read really simply and easily for the consumer. So you see here that call durations in minutes, it's all one word. You want those to be spaced. And a lot of that comes down to getting the correct formats in your column names, in your table names, in your key measure, in your measure names. All of these things are quite simple to do, but when they're not done at scale across all of your stages of development, when you come to clicking and dragging into visualizations, it can really it can really detract from the quality of your report. Same here. CDM charges. If I was someone who wasn't familiar with this, right? How do I know what CDM actually means? I don't actually have any description of what CDM actually is at all. Okay. And so you want to have your labeling as simple and effective as possible, but also really detailing everything that is as being described on the page. Okay. Just as a side note, I love what this submitter has done with the navigation experience. This is just reverting back to the navigation. You see here that this is actually a nice navigation up the side, but where this is located could be vastly improved, right? Like I would love for this exact navigation experience to be either on the far right or the far left, very similar to what Federico has done here, right? Just switching that navigation to the left-hand side here vastly improves the look and feel of your report, right? Vastly improves it. So that's a very simple change that can make a big difference amongst a few other things in this particular report. Okay, so labeling, nothing too difficult there, but something to really bear in mind, okay? And labeling doesn't have to be as comprehensive as this. It can be simpler. Like it can be very much simpler. Like here is just in this particular case, it's just a really solid title. But also I think there's some look here, revenue 2018 to 20. They're just really self-explanatory. I love see these are all custom labels by the looks of it. These are like text boxes. Instead of using the out-of-the-box titles on the visualization, Federico here has gone revenue, month, city, right? A custom title for the report for that particular visual, which is nice. Okay, a few more. Selecting the correct visuals. Okay, so again, it's just being more effective in what visualization you choose. I want to just go back to this example here. Okay, I want to go back to this example here. Okay. I want you, whenever you're trying to showcase something, I really want you to have a think about what would showcase the insight a lot better. Okay, like if we look at these particular visualizations, okay, it is so hard to understand what they are showing. Okay, I mean that to me is pretty self-explanatory, but very quickly, just by selecting the right visualization, this could be made so much more effective. This could be made so much better. Okay. So these ones down here, I would probably change these into, there's only 3 items there. I would probably change it into a donut chart or a pie chart. I know some of you don't like these visualizations, but to me, these are a much better representation when you've only got 3 items, right? Compared to a stacked bar chart. Okay. You'd probably want to actually give these a little bit more room so you could actually see what's going on. But usually to me, these are always a much better visualization when you only have a few different items. Okay. Like for example, I'll show you here. I've used this visualization in my challenge submission here. If I change this visualization to this, right? To me, it takes too much. It actually really takes up too much of the visual room in my report. And to me, this just makes it more integrated into the other visualizations I'm using. Okay. But these ones here, these are ones that I would really improve a lot. Okay. So when you have this much information, I mean, this is quite interesting. Like when you click this, okay, yes, this is quite interesting, right? Like, but a user, to me, you can still do this better. Okay. So what I would do here with a visualization like this is, I would really consider, do I need to repeat in the legend every single person every single time? Like I probably don't. I can extract the person, the employee out, right? I can extract them out and then have the user maybe select through a table of information, okay? So let's just have a quick play around. I'll just give you a couple of examples. So I would, probably change this up to like a table, for example, okay? Okay, we could maybe place this. Oh, I need to actually grab the employees here. Okay, so here we can create a list of our employees, right? And then we want to here be able to look at, okay, well, what sort of calls was someone taking on each day of the month, okay? Let's have a look here, is that? Okay, so I can still click through like this, right? But now it's just a much better visualization. Okay, the same here, this is the day of the week. Okay, do I really need this? I can take this out and maybe I can even have a little bit more room, okay? So from a very difficult, from an insight that wasn't really telling me much, I can now very quickly, just by choosing the right visualization, and even if I come in here, I can go conditional formatting, total calls, data bars, maybe let's have a look. Maybe there's still too much info. Maybe this visualization still isn't even, I wouldn't even consider this that great. Okay, but maybe we could do font colors. Maybe font colors or background colors is a better idea here. Okay, and now we can click through. And then maybe if we wanted to, we could find some other insight to place inside of here. Okay. Okay, so those are just some examples. There's lots of other things that I would do here. Like I would probably move all of these away from here and I would move these up here. Okay. Because again, we want to try and get things into grids. And we don't want to give too much real estate to slicer selections in a lot of cases. Like these can be made into drop downs, and take up a lot less room. Okay. And then we've got some text here as well. Maybe this could be some text that we make a lot smaller, right? Make it a lot smaller. So I'm just giving you some examples, and we could maybe put this alongside a big bold title. Okay. So if I think I can multi-select these, right? And I come to format and we can go align, center. Let's see if we can align horizontal as well. Align vertically. Okay, so those are some good tips in terms of how you can utilize some of those features. Okay, so look, I'm diving into this a little bit more, but hopefully you get the idea, right? Like we could also, I would change this maybe a slightly different shade as well, and I probably wouldn't have this background on my visualization there. So anyway, the insights that I can create and adjust through, I can do it very, very quickly to improve and enhance the experience. I mean, that took me 5 minutes, didn't it? It took me 5 minutes, and it's a much better report. Okay, much better looking report. Okay, I'll take off the backgrounds there as well. We've created some grids. I would probably need to improve the alignment just a touch here. But we've created grids. We've improved the navigation experience. We've improved the colors, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'll just move on. I just wanted to show you an example there. Now condense info. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through these relatively quickly. So condense info. Okay, so biggest thing that you can do to make your report, your entire report development less complex is to use these fantastic features to condense the information in your report. Okay, you can use bookmarks, you can use tooltips, you can use selections to really to really simplify how much you show in a particular report, to really use the real estate in your report more effectively. Okay, so here's just an example. What I did was I wanted to be able to dive into specific elements of this visualization. I could have placed these additional insights in this report page, but it could have looked too cluttered. I could have had too many pages. So instead of having them on page, I'm just showing them as a tooltip. Okay, same here. I wanted to be able to dive into this one here, so I created an additional tooltip. It just, I cannot tell you how much more information you can condense into much fewer pages than you could like a couple of years ago. Like, these features have really made it so easy to show so many insights in a far more condensed way. Okay, let's have this is a really good example of using a variety of tooltips, etc. So I'll just show you here. So you see here that there's a lot of additional info built into this report just by hovering over it. There's these little tooltips that have been embedded into it, right? There's also a really good one. Let me click through here. Up here. So you see here, think about all of this information. This information could be written on your page, right? But it's embedded into an eye icon which showcases, okay, here's some important information, some important terminologies, and then it's listed in a tooltip. I mean, this is a fantastic use of real estate on a report. You're not putting all of this information on the actual page itself. It's just showcasing when someone is hovering over something, when someone's trying to learn a little bit more about an insight, a particular element in your report. Okay, and then I think there's a lot of great tooltips here that just sort of bring a lot more information to light. Let me look here. Yeah, just fantastic use of tooltips across the report. This is on like almost every page of the report. And the reality is, everyone, like, this is not difficult. Like, creating a page tooltip is actually not hard anymore. It is one of the best features that has been added to Power BI in the last year or so. It is a really awesome feature that you can use. Okay, last one, using templates. Okay, so I've actually alluded to this a little bit, and I might actually go into this a little bit more in my final session around automation. But it is amazing how much you can leverage others. Okay, that is sort of like my key takeaway there. If you come to if you're a member, if you have access to our platform, you have access to every one of these showcases, right? Every one of these showcases you can download and you can reuse. Okay, now you can come in here and you can actually literally copy almost everything from a report down to the visualization into your own report, and then just fill in the blanks. You can download the theme, you can download the navigation experience, or you can copy the navigation experience, right? You can copy the way that the grid structure is set up in the report. You can copy all of these things into a blank report or your own report, and very quickly create things that look and feel much more consumable. You can make the overall consumer experience and also the development experience that much better. Okay, so if you wanted to find, like, okay, let's go and have a look and find a really good report. I'll come up here. So at Enterprise DNA, we have some amazing developers. We've got Mudasir, Brian, Federico, Alex Badu. We've got Melissa. We've got so many great report builders. Like, let's have a look at this one here. Okay, you could come in here and actually copy everything out of this. Oh, okay, that's not a good example. Need to fix that. You can come and copy all of the ideas out of these reports and copy them into your own. So let's find a good one. This one. Let's just go with this one here. I'll just go with one of my ones. So this isn't actually too complicated, but really straightforward, right? It's covers all the framework, but in a pretty simple way, right? So if I just click into here, so you see here I've got a really simple navigation down the left hand side. If I downloaded the PBIX file and I really liked this, I liked all the icons, I like the colors, I could download the theme, I could download this entire experience on the left hand side. I could download the grid patterns that have been used as well, and then very quickly just fill in the blanks. Okay, so I'm going to, my plan on my last session is to expand on that automation a little bit more. I'm going to show you a lot more things, but hopefully just over the last half an hour or so, I've been going through a lot of individually a lot of these items on our framework. Really helps you in terms of focusing your efforts around improving your designs. Okay, so just to review: grid format, colors, navigation, labeling, selecting correct visuals, condensing info, and using templates. These are the frame. This is the framework. This is my own personal framework. This is Enterprise DNA's framework for really developing quality visualizations. Okay, so hopefully, hopefully that has given you some good direction, some really good ideas around what you can do as well. Now, I've covered the key things that I wanted to cover today. So I know there's been a lot of questions. So thanks to my team for manning the discussion on the chat. Is there anything? Is there any questions? If this is a perfect, we'll do 5 to 10 minutes of questions if you like. I just want to make sure that I'm not actually going over anyone else's session. No, okay. So Mudasir is up next. By the way, this is just please check out the registration form to see all of the amazing events we've got coming up. But yeah, today is a really awesome day's worth of events, and we're only just getting started. There's plenty more sessions. There's also member-only sessions, our breakout sessions as well. So if you want to come to this one, I'm looking forward to. There's Mudasir's Fix My Visualization. So Mudasir's one of the best developers around Power BI reports you'll find anywhere in the world by far, and he's basically going to take some old reports and even come with your own reports if you like to this particular session, and have a look at what Mudasir can do to your reports very quickly. It's just about embedding, I'm sure, a lot of the aspects of this framework in his own unique way. Okay. Okay, couple of sessions. So is the color fan a member-only tool? So you can, I do believe you can actually use it for free. You just can't use some of the premium features. So like what we enable you to do is to leverage other community members, and that's a premium feature for members. So you can come in here, you can sign up for the Analyst Hub, and you can use it. You just can't save anything. You can just use it as a once-off tool. So that's one of the things we make available to the community. But to use the premium features like the community area, like I'm in now, to be able to save your own documents. So you see here that I've saved a range of different things, from color themes to planner tools to coding catalogs, so on and so forth. That's a premium feature. Okay. So with the how do you add it? Simple. So within any Power BI report, you have in the view ribbon, you have this drop down and you go customize current theme. You can click on that and you can manipulate the colors in here. And so it's set up for you to, for the color fan, you come in here, it's set up already to just copy like this. You copy quickly, you come in here, you paste it, and then it changes it just like that. So it's been done. It's been set up for real speed. Any other thoughts? What do you think? Does everyone feel like the framework that I've gone through today? Does everyone feel like that very quickly can enhance what you are doing? So yeah, please keep the questions coming. Yes, Ross, absolutely. So that is what you can do a lot of customization here and customize your current theme. Okay, you can do a lot of customization there. You can click through, you can do colors, you can do text, you can do visuals, but there are some things you can't do. And that is exactly what this particular color theme here enables you to do. this enables you to go through every single element, from all of the backgrounds, all of the key themes, all of the text. You can even dive into each individual element here and say, do you want to show the legend? If you don't want to show the legend, you go no. Do you want to show the x-axis? No. Do you want to show the title on the y-axis? No. You can set up everything individually and then export this as a theme and then upload this entire theme. Okay, so this is a premium feature as part of our membership, but this is one of the only places anywhere that you can do this. We put a lot of time and effort into developing this one particular tool, and there's been historically a couple of bugs, but we've been slowly fixing those, and now very very happy with what it can do from a productivity sense. Cool. Okay, so I'm getting some good feedback around the framework, and look, hopefully a lot of you resonate with my simple and effective ideas here. Like I there's no need to read a book about how to build good visualizations. It is as simple as 7 items, and I mean this is sort of like more like an automation item. So really it's six key items, but I like to leverage others as much as I possibly can. So I've added that in here as well. But these are the key things that elevate all your reports. As mentioned right at the start, this is we've seen hundreds, thousands of reports through our challenges, and so we've got a really good view, a really good overview of what works and what doesn't, and we've evolved our thinking based on that. And this is the latest iteration of our thinking around visualization. Okay, so as much as you can, if you can align your own development work around this framework, I'm very confident, along with I'm sure most of my team, that your reports the quality of your reporting output will be substantially better very, very quickly. So just a question from Bill here. I'm new to the visualization side. These grid shapes that you use, are they locked into place? So they can be. They can be. There's a snap to grid feature. I personally don't use it, but you can use it. There's also a grid lines feature as well, if you want to get grid lines in your report. So you see here, if you're struggling on the grids idea, here's one thing that you can use. Numero, by the way, the one that I use for this, they've sort of like created their own grid system, because sometimes these grids here, they're larger grids, but sometimes you want smaller grids so that you can base the alignments on that. Snap to grid. So some features there which are very helpful. Okay. So Ross is asking, does this include custom visuals? No. So good question, very good question. So this feature here, this Power BI themes generator, does not include custom visuals, unfortunately. It will customize the core colors, like the core color theme, but it will not enable you. I mean, as you can imagine, there's hundreds of custom visuals. There's just no way for us to keep up with all of the changes and updates on custom visuals. But all we've got here is every single out of the box visual that Power BI has. Okay, and you can manipulate any of these. Okay, so I mean, yeah, like even the borders, you can turn borders off for particular visuals. I mean, anything you can manipulate any element, and the idea is that you want to you don't want to have to do this every single time, right? So you want to and this is why the community is great as well, is that you can leverage off what other people have done as well, so that you don't have to go into every single visual and adjust it. There's already some pre-built ones, and we're going to continue to build those templates as well with a lot of variations. We've got some really cool ideas that we're going to build on over time, just to totally automate the theming aspect of things, just to make it so easy to get it into the exact theme. One of the things that I always want to do is have much less clicks in any of my developments. I want to be clicking hard. I don't want to be clicking much at all. Like I want to be automating my measure creation, with some tools that we've got. So many of you might be aware that we've got a whole range of external tools that we've developed recently. Quick Measures Pro enables us to really create measures fast. So if I click on this, where is it? Here's a whole range of measures that I can create really quickly. I'm not going to go into it, but this is for a later time. But in all parts of my development, we're looking to automate and have less clicks, right? And so we create a lot of reports, so we know where the inefficiencies are, and we're really trying to target all of those at all times. And this is a big one, right? Like the themes one is a big, can really slow you down if there's having to click around and change axes, get rid of the axes title, so on and so forth. Just annoying things like that, reformatting your tables. You want all of this to be set up straight away so that when you create a visualization in Power BI, it's done for you. It's done for you automatically. You don't have to make any other adjustments. Okay, so that's what we're trying to aim for with that particular tool, and we're continuing to try and provide templates and more features to make that happen. Cool. Yes. Okay. By the way, please like the video. So thank you, Christian, for for mentioning this. Yeah. Hey, we want to. It really helps us a lot if you like the video. Obviously, thank you for attending. That means a lot to us as well. But if you can like the video as well, really helps us improve the viewers that we get to our content. So if you have the ability to do that, that'd be great. Does the theme work with map visuals? Yes, it does. Well, it does for the out of the box map visuals. Yes. So you can let's have a look. So you see here that we've got map, filled map, and shape map. So yeah, so you can come in here and change all the elements within the shape map. Are we recording? Yes, absolutely we are. I mentioned this at the start, all replays. So all you got to do is register for the event, which you probably already have. All recordings will be available to everyone until the summit ends, and then after the summit, they'll then be available just for our members. Okay, so if you want to view them at a later point, please really consider upgrading to our membership. Got an awesome sale on at the moment. It's going to be on throughout the entire event and for a little bit afterwards. So please consider it. It's fantastic value, we think. Well, I've touched on a few of the things that are included today. So is this created by Enterprise TNA? Yes, this is in the Analyst Hub. This is something that we created ourselves. We have leveraged off some other ideas out there. Like we didn't just create it from absolute scratch. Like we've combined a few ideas out there that we've seen on the web, but we're trying to bring everything together to to basically automate this part of it. So okay. I'm going to round off, team, because I've gone a little bit over time. But thank you very much. Thank you for your attendance. Hopefully you really enjoyed day one here. Well, not only day one, but the very first session. Hopefully we've kicked things off in a really good way, and the presenters after me are gonna wow you some more. I'm really hoping that. I'm sure they absolutely will. Me and Brian, who's head of content, he's done an amazing job communicating and logistically organizing a lot of these events and sessions, and by all accounts, some amazing content coming out. So really excited to get those out to you. So just a bit of a prize draw. We'll do a bit of a prize draw of these free courses. Now, just to give you a heads up in terms of how to access these courses. So once this session finishes, if you're one of those selected to be able to enroll in one of our courses. So by the way, these here are our courses that you can choose from. So there's over 50 courses that you can access. So all I'm doing here is you can select one course that you want to get access to, and we can give you access to that one course. If you are a member, obviously you get access to all of these courses. So you can give away, if you are a current member or you currently have a license, you can give away this course to anyone you like. But just to give you a bit of a outline about what's possible. So if you want to do the financial reporting course, you want to do the R course, so on and so forth, you can select that one. Now, if you are selected, all you got to do is come down to the bottom of our page and go to Contact Us. Okay, go to Contact Us down the bottom, and then just leave us a note saying that you won access on my team's watching, so they'll know who we give it to. But you just tell us which course you want. Okay. So just a quick question. What's my favorite time saver tool? It's probably this one now, like Power BI Theme Generator, because this was just like one of my, like this was the reason I created this was all personal. Like I was just absolutely sick of having to do so many clicks inside of Power BI. Like I just couldn't stand doing any more formatting. And I wanted to create a theme generator which covered, absolutely everything. We created our sort of MVP version of this, and there was, as I mentioned, there was like a few bugs, and we've been slowly ironing those out. But it's now almost at a point where I'm really happy with it. Like it saves so much time. But also, my DAX tool, so the ability to very quickly come in here and get all of my formulas very quickly. So, a lot of you who followed me over the recent year or so, that I very rarely write out formulas in my Power BI reports anymore. I'm usually just copying and pasting my formulas into my measures from the Analyst Hub to really create my calculations very, very quickly. Because there's a lot of patterns that you can reuse over and over and over and over and over again. And all of the patterns that I use from an analytical perspective, they're all in here. They're all, I've saved them all. So I've saved a lot of the ones that I use all the time. So things like, for example, my Power Query date table, that's one I use all the time. But, dynamic grouping. So this is a pattern that I use all the time as well, so on and so forth. So that really speeds things up. We've tried to introduce these as also external tools as well. So that's what we're doing up here. And so this is called Enterprise DNA Power Tools. We've partnered with Greg Deckler and MVP, Microsoft MVP, to create a lot of these. Maybe someone is going to go into these more than I have today. But again, this is all about automation. It's all about in combination with the Analyst Hub is pretty powerful, right? Like the fact that there's a whole range of like quick measures and here that I don't even have saved in my own Analyst Hub, which I can use. There's also this amazing DAX editor that has been introduced as well. Like this tool is just phenomenal. Like I can go and grab any of the measures that I created, and none of the ones in here are actually that difficult. But I can do a whole, like if you do have more advanced measures, you can come in here and you can do lots of different things. You can use the find, you can debug your measures. I mean, it's quite phenomenal. I'm not doing it justice. I'm not doing it justice at all. But we're sort of run out of time. But hopefully someone else will be going through this, and we absolutely will be creating more content on these tools as well. Don't worry about that. Okay, so let's do some winners. Hey, maybe Brian, I know that you're there. Brian, have you got 3 people that you think are worthy of a free course access? If you could just maybe write them out, that'd be great. I've been a bit more focused on my presenting. So here, Ganesh, really good point. Just, Brian, if you could, if you're still on the line, yeah, cool. Brian's having a look. If you want to learn how to create your own portfolio, check out this session here. Okay, so we have a session specifically on this. It's on the very last day. It's by one of our partners, Ahmed from NoviPro. He's actually, if you look at the title, Build Your Own Power BI Portfolio, this is exactly what you want to come and have a look at. Okay. Okay, so Ross James, first winner. And we'll periodically do this at other sessions as well. We want everyone. We want absolutely everyone to be able to experience our platform, whether you're a full premium member or your team has a CEO license or not. But obviously, there's some real premium features that we really think you'd enjoy getting access to as well. Sabir Simpson, this is number 2. Will member sessions be recorded? Absolutely, yes. And Kaz Von. Okay, so here are the 3 winners, team. Kaz Von, hopefully you're still on. If you are, please just contact us and say which one individual course you'd like to view, and we'll be happy to provide that. If you're already a member, you're more than welcome to give access to someone else. That's absolutely fine. Is this certified by Microsoft? No, it is not. I don't even think Microsoft certifies things off their website, so I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. So this is simple. If you want to attend the member only session, it's you just got to be a member, and you'll get all the links, all the relevant links. We've set up all of the notifications based on whether people are members, aren't members, etc. So you'll get totally informed of what you have access to. Okay, guys, thank you all. Thank you all. Awesome start to the summit. Really enjoyed going through this content, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Hopefully I've given you a lot of ideas to kickstart this week, to kickstart your your skill development, particularly around design and visualization. And I'm hoping that you will learn a ton more and be able to apply a lot more niche ideas throughout the rest of this week. Okay, everyone, take care. Look forward to the next session. I think it's Mudas here, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, so that's in a little bit less than an hour. But yeah, hey, thanks for attending, and look forward to seeing you on some of the future sessions this week. Okay, take care.